In 1994, Ron published his first book, a collection of short stories titled The Night the New Jesus Fell to Earth. Since then, he's published 3 collections of poetry, 3 short story collections, and 4 novels, all to wide critical acclaim and several awards and honors. His poems and stories have appeared in more than 100 magazines and journals. His works, which have received numerous awards, have confirmed his position as a central and significant Southern writer. Guys, he's in Columbia, South Carolina tonight. Columbia, South Carolina. Ron, it's a pleasure to have you here with us this evening. All right.
She follows the river trail downstream, leaving behind her parents and younger brother who still eat their picnic lunch. She is 12 years old, and it is her school's Easter break. Her father's taken time off from his job, and they followed the Appalachian Mountains south, stopping first in Gatlinburg, then the Smokies, finally this river. She finds a place above a falls where the water looks shallow and slow. The river's a boundary between South Carolina and Georgia, and she wants to wade into the middle and place one foot in South Carolina and one in Georgia, so she can tell her friends back in Minnesota she has been in 2 states at the same time. She kicks off her sandals and enters. The water so much colder than she imagined, quickly deeper, up to her kneecaps, surging under the smooth surface. She shivers. 50 yards downstream, a granite cliff rises 200 feet into the air to cast this section of river into shadow. She glances back to where her parents and brother sit on a blanket. It is warmer there, the sun full upon them. She thinks about going back, but is almost halfway now. She takes a step, and the water rises higher on her knees. 4 more steps, she tells herself. Just 4 more, and I'll turn back. She takes another step, and the bottom she tries to set her foot on is no longer there. And she is being shoved downstream, and she does not panic because she is a good swimmer and has passed all her Red Cross courses. The water shallows, and her face breaks the surface, and she breathes deep. She rises to turn her body so she won't hit her head on a rock. And as she thinks this, she is afraid for the first time. And she's suddenly back underwater and hears the rush of water against her ears. She tries to hold her breath, but her knee smashes against a boulder, and she gasps in pain, and water pours into her mouth. Then for a few moments, the water pools and slows. She rises, coughing up water, gasping air, her feet dragging the bottom like an anchor, trying to snag waterlogged wood or rock jut. And as the current quickens again, she sees her family running along the shore, and she knows they're shouting her name, though they cannot hear them. And as the current turns her, she hears the falls and knows there's nothing that will keep her from it. And the current quickens, and another rock smashes against her knee, but she hardly feels it as she snatches another breath before the river pulls her under. And she feels the river fall, and she falls with it as water whitens around her. And she falls deep into darkness, and as she rises, her head scrapes against a rock ceiling, and all is black and silent. And she tells herself, don't breathe, but the need grows inside her, beginning in the upper stomach, then up through the chest and throat. And as that need rises, her mouth and nose open at the same time, and the lungs explode in pain. And then the pain is gone, along with the dark, as bright colors shatter around her like glass shards. She remembers her 6th grade science class. The gurgle of the aquarium at the back of the room that morning, the teacher held a prism out the window so it might fill with color. She has a final, beautiful thought that she is now inside that prism and knows something even the teacher does not know, that the prism's colors are voices, voices that swirl around her head like a crown. And at that moment, her arms and legs, she did not even know were flailing, cease. And she becomes part of the river. That was a hard one to write, believe me. As a parent,